the wrap up. I'm your host, Vanita McCullum. On today's episode, we're going to be doing a Q&A. We've selected 10 top questions from the fans, put them in a bowl. We're going to select a question and answer it. Let's get started. Let's see what the fans want to know. Let's check out my bowl here with my questions, my Yachty fan. Let's just stir it up in here and see what we got. See what the fans want to know, inquiring minds want to know. First question is coming from Dominique in Memphis, Tennessee. Dominique wants to know, did you have a career before your son's fame? I did. I was a pharmaceutical rep. Here in Atlanta, Georgia, I covered Georgia and Tennessee. I sold steroids to doctors, so I was in sales. So I did have a career before my son became famous. I did work, even though sometimes they think I didn't work. I did work. Nico from Smyrna writes, this or that, Chanel or Gucci? Definitely Chanel. And if you want to see the writing on the wall, you can go to my website, In the Closet with V, and see all those beautiful fashions. A little Chanel and a little Gucci. Let's see, Jana from Austin, Texas writes, when and how did Lil Yachty tell you he wanted to be a rapper? Well, that's a good question, Jana. He actually never did tell me. He just told me along the way that he was always going to be famous. He used to tell me constantly, I'm going to be famous. He never said, I want to be a rapper. I didn't find that out until later. Go figure. Let's see. Lauren from Tampa, Florida writes, how was your childhood growing up? Wow, my childhood. Good question. I grew up in Gary, Indiana, home of the Jackson 5, Michael Jackson. I had one brother, and I had a kind of strict childhood. My dad didn't really let me do a whole lot. I was a cheerleader in high school. I did go to some events, but he didn't let me go out and hang out a lot. So my childhood was very structured, to say the least. Very structured, but good. Let's see. We have Denise in Lexington, Kentucky. Denise wants to know, what inspires your style? Good question. I would have to say inspiration for me would have to be the weather. The weather has a lot to do with my style and what it's going to be like. If it's raining outside, then we're going to go with rain attire, of course, raincoat, rain boots, love rain boots. If it's snowing outside, we're going to go for real or faux fur, hats, gloves. So really my style is inspired by, I guess I would say, the weather. Depends on what season we're in. Good question though. Dominique in Seattle wants to know, where did you go to school? I went to high school in Gary, Indiana. I'm from Gary, Indiana. I went to college in Raleigh, North Carolina. I went to St. Augustine's College, and I attended graduate school in Mankato, Minnesota. So I've gotten a lot of education. I'm a college girl. Okay, Bianca in Long Island wants to know, how many kids do you have? I have 2. Of course, you all know that Yachty is my son. I call him Miles. I don't call him Yachty, but Miles is my son. And then Nina. Nina is my daughter. Let's see, what other questions do we have? Good questions, guys. Kristen in Myrtle Beach. What kind of kid was Lil Yachty growing up? Good question. Yachty was very hard-headed. I would say up, he'd say down. I say left, he'd say right. We always went toe-to-toe. He did what he wanted to do, not what I told him to do. But overall, he was a very good kid. I never got a lot of phone calls from his school about skipping school or talking back or anything like that. I did get a lot of calls about him being a chatty patty. He talked a lot in school and was on the phone in school. Now, who are you talking to in school on the phone when your friends are in school with you? Anyway, go figure. And I got a couple more questions, guys. These questions are awesome. Steven in Denver wants to know, what do you like to do in your spare time? Well, since I hardly ever have spare time, when I do have spare time, I like to Actually do nothing. I watch some television. I'm a big Power fan. No, I don't know who shot Ghost, but we'll find out soon. But I do like to watch a little television in my spare time and try to take in a movie if I can. Last but not least, our last question from Stacy in Missouri. Stacy wants to know, are you a member of a sorority? Good question. I am. I'm a member of Alpha Kappa Alpha Incorporated. Thank you. And that concludes this episode of The Wrap Up. I'm your host, Vanita McCullum. Until next time.